Mabuhay! And welcome to Banking Airlines. We care about your knowledge. Please sit back and relax. Enjoy the rest of the reporting. This is Chapter 3, Banking Institutions. Listen, for after this is a graded recitation. Thank you. Good evening, everyone. We are the Group 3, and our report is all about banking institutions. Our report would contain the following: Central Banking Authority, the Monetary Board, Board Membership Evaluation, Power of Monetary Board, Domestic Monetary Policy, International Monetary Stability, and the present officers of Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas. Good evening, everyone. So before I start my presentation, let me introduce myself first. Hi, I am Gian Bianca Escancina, and today I am going to discuss a very important topic in monetary policy and central banking, which is ang alam nating lahat and the most famous bank here in the Philippines, the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas. Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas. It was created under Section 3 of RA 7653, better known as the New Central Bank Act, as amended by RA 11211. Before I proceed, I just want to ask somebody. So, for you, what is the right term? Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas or Central Bank of the Philippines? So, if you're going to look, there's no difference, right? So, Biang, sa loko mo lang kami. Same lang naman yan, tinagalog mo lang yung Bangko Sentral. It is now Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas. Before po kasi, it was called Central Bank of the Philippines. And then, we have our new charter way back in 1993. Actually, ang history kung bakit napalitan yung pangalan from Central Bank to Bangko Sentral ay during the administration of Ferdinand Marcos, the Central Bank went bankrupt. So with that, they had to enact a new law, start from scratch, and they had to change the name. Diba? So who would have thought? So every country has their own central banks. It's a requirement, and this is also part of our constitution, that the Philippines should have an independent monetary authority. With the new charter po kasi, it gives more independence to the BSP. Now, the BSP enjoys fiscal and administrative authority from the national government in the pursuit of its mandated responsibilities. Now, the central banking have three pillars. This is basically the primary na trabaho nito or yung primary na nire-rendered sa atin na nagpapatibay or kung bakit meron tayong central banking. So what is this? Of course, they promote price stability, financial stability, efficient payment and settlement system. So let's discuss each of this. Ayan. So, paano nasa-stabilize ng BSP or ano ang ginagawa ng BSP kung bakit nila dapat stabilize ang prices ng bawat produkto and even the inflation? Price stability. BSP manage inflation and price fluctuations for conducive balance and sustainable growth of the economy. Basically, the BSP tries to slow down the inflation rate. Hindi din naman talaga natin napipigilan ang inflation rate kasi tumataas ang produkto, even the raw materials. But with price stability po kasi, nakatutulong talaga siya to slow down and to make the prices stable in the market. The second pillar naman of the central bank is the financial stability. So, ano nga ba itong financial stability na ito? Siyempre, having a stable financial system or healthy financial system would result to a healthy and flourishing economy. So, to maintain or keep the financial system healthy, ang gagawin is BSP plays a great role in the flow of money in the system from the people who have extra money who in which they do not need to spend them immediately or basically the saver and tend to put them in a system for interest. So, they encourage savers para mag-engage sa monetary system ng BSP. And then, itong si BSP maintains a continuous flow of money in the system by encouraging more savers and also they encourage more borrowers to engage in the system so that they can facilitate the flow of funds. So, this can only be attained through formulating and implementing policies in the areas of money, banking, and credit. So, the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas, they will also supervise and regulate banks, quasi-banks, subsidiaries, and affiliates that are engaged in the allied activities. So, they ensure to maintain healthy economy through formulating and implementing monetary policies para ma-engage ang mga borrowers and savers in the monetary system. So, that's how they do the financial stability. So, I actually prepared a example scenario. So, here's the example. There is too excessive demand that brings inflationary pressures. So, in order to regulate that, ang magiging duty ng BSP para mapabagal ang inflation ay mag-i-implement sila ng contractionary monetary policy. Again, pag sinabi natin na contractionary is when there is too much money in the economy. So, the BSP will tighten the flow to control the money supply. So, how does it work? So ngayon, ang gagawin ng BSP ay they will increase interest rate. Siyempre, pag mataas ang interest rate, it will result to increase in interest rate of banks. So what will happen? Dahil nga tumaas yung interest rate ng bangko, di may encourage ako ngayon to save more kasi mataas ang interest ng bangko. That's what will happen. With that, bababa ngayon yung demand kasi magsisave na ako magsisave na yung karamihan ng tao. Hindi muna masyadong gagastos. And that is the side of savers. Advantage yun para sa kanila kasi mataas yung interest rate sa bangko. Paano naman yung side ng borrowers natin? So for the side of our borrowers, magiging disadvantage yun para sa kanila. Why? Kasi tataas din yung kanilang interest rate sa panghihiram. Dahil mataas ang interest rate kapag mangungutang, magiging konti na lang yung borrowers natin. With that, konti na lang din yung magiging pera and the purchasing power of the people and even the businesses. What will happen now is the demand growth will be slower. At kapag bumaba na yung demand, maglo-lower na rin ang inflation. So that is how the BSP do monetary policies. Hindi yan basta-basta. Talagang pinag-aaralan siya kasi unang-una, ayaw nila na sobrang tumataas ang inflation or nasobrahan naman sa baba ang currency natin. So, ayun, I hope you understand that. We are down to the last pillar, which is efficient payment and settlements system. National Payment and Settlement System. So this includes the country's entire matrix of institutional and infrastructure arrangements and process through which money is transferred from one party to another, which aims to make funds transfer easier to both parties. Bukod sa kailangang i-maintain or establish ng BSP ang prices and the financial stability or the financial situation of our country, nag-iisip din sila ng efficient payments and settlement system kung paano tayo magkakapayad sa isa't isa sa mas madaling paraan or kung paano mas magiging convenient ang pag-fund transfer between two or more people or between institutions. So that's how BSP works also. Makikita naman natin ngayon, 'di ba? So, 'di ba? We can now transfer through bank to bank, we can wire money in real time and talaga napapabilis yung transactions natin. So let's proceed to the last topic under the Central Banking Authority, the other functions of BSP, which are the following. So, issuer of money. Remember that only the BSP can issue legal tender. So, BSP is the one who facilitates the flow of funds in our country. Sila ang gumagawa ng pera, nagpe-print, sa kanila nagagaling ang lahat ng pera natin, mapa-old or new set of coins or banknotes man yan. Manager of Official Reserves. So the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas manages the country's GIR, Gross International Reserves. So banks of the banks. The BSP transacts with banks only and gives loan when warranted. Official depository and advisor of national government. So basically, the national government deposits with the BSP and the BSP advises the national government on borrowings. And the last is determination of the exchange rate policy. So BSP is in charge of the exchange rate policy. The Monetary Board. The powers and functions of Bangko Sentral are exercised by its Monetary Board, which has 7 members appointed by the President of the Philippines. Under the new Central Bank Act, one of the government sector's members of the Monetary Board must also be a member of the cabinet designated by the President. So since the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas is considered to be a corporation, a government-owned corporation to be exact, it cannot act on its own like a normal person. So it has to have a body na magbabayan sa Bangko Sentral when it comes to making decisions and actions to take. Just think BSP as a company. Alam naman natin na board of directors ang nagmamanage. But here, the board of directors ng Bangko Sentral is called the Monetary Board. Is that clear? So, 7 members ang bumubuo sa Monetary Board at lahat sila ay appointed by the President of the Philippines. The new Central Bank Act establishes certain qualifications for the members of the Monetary Board and also prohibits members from holding certain positions with other governmental agencies and private institutions that may give rise to conflict of interest. With the exception of the members of the Cabinet, the Governor and other members of the Monetary Boards serve terms of 6 years and may only be removed for cause. Dito, hindi basta-basta pwede i-appoint ka na lang as one of the monetary board. Hindi pwede na, ang cute mo, board member ka na ha. Ay naku, anak ni gawin ng chairman of the board yan. So, that's not how it works. It takes so much credibility in order for you to become one of the monetary board, more so to become a chairman. You have to possess talaga the certain qualifications and see if you're fit for the role. Dito, the BSP prohibits the boards from having position to other government agencies. So if you're one of the boards, you cannot be a liaison officer, an administrative officer, administrative aid, and etc. Para na rin maiwasan yung tinatawag natin na conflict of interest and to avoid yung biasness when it comes to decision making. So usually, yung monetary board natin ay may term na 6 years. In here, makikilala na natin yung mga present monetary board or the present officers of the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas. Let's go first with the chairman. Felipe A. Medalla, the current chairman of the monetary board. So Dr. Felipe Medalla, the current governor of the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas, is a seasoned economist and educator whose career spans more than 4 decades and 4 administrations. So Dr. Medalla has been a member of the Policymaking Monetary Board since July 2011, having been appointed by the former President Benigno Aquino III and President Rodrigo Duterte in July 2017. Here are the board members. Let's go first with Benjamin E. Diokno. So Dr. Diokno is the current secretary of the Department of Finance, DOF. Prior to his appointment as fiscal chief, he served as governor of the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas, BSP, from 2019 to 2022. As finance secretary, Secretary Diokno seeks to rally the economic team to achieve three broad development goals by 2028. Reduce the deficit to GDP ratio to pre-pandemic rates, bring down poverty incidence to single digit, and achieve upper middle income economy status by the end of the Marcos administration. Other board member, Peter B. Favilla. As Monetary Board member, MBM, Peter B. Favilla espouses the BSP's mission to contribute to global competitiveness and ensure sustainable economic growth and stability. He brought to this role years of experience in banking and real sectors, financial markets, and international trade. Antonio S. Abacan Jr. So Antonio S. Abacan Jr. was president of Metrobank for 13 years from 1992 to 2006 and thereafter became its chairman and senior advisor. Our fourth monetary board member, none other than V. Bruce J. Tolentino, Deputy Director General and Secretary to the Board of Trustees, International Rice Research Institute, IRRI, from March 2012 to June 2018. So the IRRI is the premier global scientific research organization focused on rice productivity, rice farmer welfare, nutrition and consumer health, and rice-based food security. He is responsible for IRRI's trust in communication, partnerships, and fundraising, legal and political affairs. Monetary Board member Anita Linda R. Aquino's formidable career in banking and finance spans 3 decades of work in the Philippines and abroad. Prior to her appointment to the Monetary Board, she served on the board of the Philippine Deposit Insurance Corporation, PDIC. She was also a board advisor to the United Coconut Planters Bank, UCPB. We are down to the last monetary board member, the 7th, Eli M. Remoliona. In 1991, he joined Paul Krugman, awarded the Nobel Prize in 2013, and Susan Collins, now the president of the Boston Fed, in a high-level economic mission to the Philippines to advise the Philippine government on structural reforms.